Hi everyone, my name's Tom Hickmore, and in this episode of What Can TV Teach L&D, I'm looking at Rear Window. I make drama for learning, so I'm taking popular TV drama and looking at it with an analytical eye, asking, what can we learn from this that can be applied to the field of learning and development? In this series, I'm focusing on well-known movies. Rear Window is Alfred Hitchcock's thriller masterpiece, released in 1954. It's the tale of a sports photographer, played by James Stewart, who, after an injury, is confined to his flat. Using the telephoto lens of his trade, he spends his enforced rest spying on his neighbours. In doing so, he uncovers a murder mystery, which he solves with the help of his gutsy girlfriend, played by Grace Kelly. As you can see from that edited down but elegant setup to the story, Hitchcock really was a master of the medium. Having started in the silent era, he was the first to make a British sound movie, and even there he was using sound expressively rather than just literally.
You mustn't use a knife!
At every stage of cinematic technical development, Hitchcock was on or ahead of the curve, and other directors looked to him as an example. So even though his films are now old, because they are so well conceived and executed, there's still a great deal we can learn from them. The first permanent theatre for showing films opened in 1905, so we can see that with Hitchcock's first movie being released in 1922, he was around and engaged in the early development of film language. It's hard to imagine now, but someone had to invent the first close-up, the idea of parallel cutting, work out how to portray subjectivity and so forth. The development of film was not unlike science today, with pioneers across the globe contributing to film theory and development through international journals. In the Soviet Union, the Bolsheviks had embraced film as a medium for the people, and a good deal of the major breakthroughs were made there. Hitchcock was very excited by the Soviet pioneers, amongst whom was Lev Kuleshov. Kuleshov made a famous experiment in which he got Tsarist matinee idol Ivan Mostyakin to perform an uninflected expression. Next to this, he cut a shot of a bowl of soup, and he asked people how they interpreted the expression. Hunger, came the response. Next, he showed the same expression and cut it with a shot of an attractive woman. Lust, they said, and so forth. This is the basis for dialectical editing, whereby the juxtaposition of two concepts represented by uninflected images creates a third concept in the mind of the viewer. When it came to Rear Window, Hitchcock enjoyed playing with this effect as James Stewart looks at something out of his window. We see what he's looking at, and a narrative is built. It's what Hitchcock called pure film. It's interesting to note that the quality of filmmaking went down with the introduction of sound to the movies because it was so easy to tell the story with dialogue. Often as not, it became tell, don't show, rather than the other way round. Returning to the very basics of filmmaking reminds us of the incredible power we have at our fingertips by employing the most basic of techniques. While more flashy, modern techniques might be more attractive to the novice filmmaker, we do well to remember that the core techniques are invisible to the viewer. They don't draw attention to themselves, they just work. Like chess, they're fundamentally simple, but hard to master.